Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. So I've been wanting to update you guys what's been going on out here. It's been kind of rough. We had a hurricane run through here. We've got branches, sticks all over the place. We'll go through all that. Everything's been naturalized. Now that we had a natural storm, lots of things were blown in. It's very naturalized out here from it. And I wanted to share what's been going on. So let's jump into it. So we got a little tub and garden area over here, 110 gallons. I believe these are 50 gallons. Maybe 30, I don't remember. Some of them I don't have a whole lot going on just because I haven't had a lot of time to mess with them. Some of them, I do got all kinds of things going on in them. I've been training for the Fins and Fury match coming up here soon, August 17th. You guys don't know about that, check it out. It's gonna be crazy event. But right after the hurricane, I really wanted to show you guys, but I didn't have any power and it was really hard to charge up my phone. Kind of needed the little bit of battery I had just for emergencies. We were out of power for like 4 days. It was kind of rough around here this last week. Well, I'll go ahead and start at this corner. In here is nothing. I did have some rainbow fish in there, but I think they ended up jumping. I did find a couple on the ground. I was hoping they didn't all jump, but unfortunately they did. But in here, I've got a bunch of the blood red king yamas. Now, it's more of an orange line if you ask me, but they will get super like a dark, deep orange. And they do kind of get redder as they get older. The parents definitely look red now. It took them a while to look that way. A real solid, hard line. And this is pearlweed down there. A lot of my algae settled down. It was crazy. Like, this was clear. All the green water, everything was clear from just the storm barometric pressure. And must have pushed it all down, but it's popped up just a few days later. In here we can't see them, but there is some Geophagus winnemilleri. It looks like there's a rice fish got in there. And then over here there is the stargrass, which has a nice cool flower to it. And then next to that is some Jesus Marie livebearer fish. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to be able to see them. They're kind of skittish. They like to stay low. Then we got more ice fish mixed in with Glossolepis maculosus babies out here. There you can see the Glossolepis maculosus babies, which they're starting to get big enough. I might start offering those. There's probably about 30 of them in there with a bunch of those rice fish, and they raised up together pretty well. Next to it, I got some breeding baskets with some tetras in it. We got green neon tetras in one of those baskets and the Tucano tetras in another. But I keep getting swordtails in here. I had put swordtails in here to help eat any of the dragonfly because there was a bunch of like small baby nymphs, which those will just absolutely eat all the eggs that any of the tetras would lay. So I tried putting some swordtails in there, hoping they would eat them all, but the swordtails ended up breeding, so now I just pull out swordtails every once in a while. There's actually a fairly big one right down there. Keeps running away, but you can see how there's leaf litter all around in here now, giving it that more naturalized look and feel. This is what happens in nature. That's why I don't worry about that stuff. There is certain things, like I want to take muck from another pond and put it in these just because you end up getting a bunch of stuff you don't want. But like the leaves, things that get blown in, it's not really a big issue. And then here is actually a group from the Melanitania cernurgo rainbow fish. They don't look like much in here, but in a display tank and after they grow up, these things are uber rare. Uber rare. And then the small barrel down next to them, I don't know if we'll see them because there we can see them, some swordtails. This is actually where I put the swordtails that ended up growing up on there. Split them into that one, split them into that one. This one is empty. I did have cernurgo babies in there at one point, but eventually put them all together. This one never got anything. And then this one is where I got my baby black rice fish, which I guess they're not so much babies anymore. They've really been growing out real well. Then in here, there is a few more of the blood red rice fish. This one's empty, this one's empty. These actually have a bunch of the Matano rice fish. Indonesian rice fish can get on the bigger end. These guys are quite a bit harder to see in here though. But there's blue eyes. There, if I get that cover over it. Same thing as that is in there, and then here's the parents, which these guys have been doing pretty good at colony breeding if the water is dirty enough. So on there you can see there's actually a bunch of fry at the top of the water there, and there's adults in there with them. But that water's nice and dirty and murky enough, they don't really bother with it, must have enough to eat. And then this is my random rice fish, so I've just got a hodgepodge of rice fish I'm playing with. Then I'll throw their babies into here, so they're going crazy. These are the red tigers. You see they got more of that pattern on it, and I have been culling out and working the line as it goes, which I've got quite a bit of babies of them. Like there's one I'd have to cull out, but they're starting to form a little straighter. Then same with these are, I believe, the tricolors, but I think they ended up being more like of like a black and white kind of strain I'm going for. I'm not sure the actual name of those, but I like the look of them. They did come out of my tricolor and then kind of lining them out, which the tricolor line, you can see that guy, he's got that black, he's got that white, he's got that orange. And then in here, I believe I got more tricolors because I did split up the lineage. Since it was throwing so many different things, I just grouped them out into what kind of went together. That one's really cool looking. So I'm not really sure how to line or even sell these guys. We'll figure that out later, after August 17th. And you see, you got a nice little vegetation growing up and over them. Their parents are in there, probably down deep low. Usually when, like I said, it's got that real murky water, they stay low. They stay safe. We got more babies. Honestly, don't even know what this line is. It's kind of a hodgepodge, big hodgepodge. They don't throw a whole lot of straight anything. Actually, this is the new Gecko line, new Gecko 2. Platinum rice fish. Got a bunch of babies of those. The blue Miyuki platinums. Same within here, the parents. Over here, blue Miyukis. These are mostly guppies, but the guppies haven't really done much. I had put the bluegrass in here. I haven't seen them for a while. I had the blue dragons, purple dragons in here. I haven't seen them for a while. Now I know there's some floating around. They usually come around, but with it as dark, I like see there when something moved. Yeah, there's a female. But they haven't been like throwing numbers like I would think they would do with all that space. I don't know if it's the softness of the rainwater or what it is. These are my Pingu guppies, which once again, they're not really doing a whole lot. Oh no, that's the all other color. There's the female. So those are the ones that get like the polka dots on their tail. Get a nice colorful sheen. These are my Pingus, which these guys were actually had a lot of numbers. I know there's a bunch in there, but it's kind of surprising I don't see any. And my rainbow tiger endlers, they have been doing really well out here. I mean, the numbers aren't huge, but they're breeding. And you can see they are super active right now. And then I tried some killifish in here, but they didn't end up doing too well. They just kind of slowly petered out. Didn't get anything in there because there's always tadpoles and lots of dragonfly larvae. Then empty, 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 empty. Just because I haven't had time to pull babies. Because mostly these were here for whenever I was having like a bunch of guppies, a bunch of endlers. I wanted to have overflow to where I could put them and process them and move them. But it didn't end up going that way. So we got a few things to work on next year. Maybe get more mineralizer in here. I don't know if the rainwater is just... The water's already somewhat soft. So I think adding some mineralizer or some salts might help. Then we got the 4 little ponds. Or I mean, kind of big. 20 foot long, 2 foot deep. This one's different, but these 3 are that big. But you can see it getting really wild on these. These are almost a video within themselves. So I'm going to end this here. Stay tuned. We're going to cover those. And by then, hopefully the sun will come out because then we can see in them a lot better. And maybe I'll dip the phone down in. And we also got the aquarium garden to cover here.